Hi, I'm Chanelle, one of the journalists at Manx Radio. Welcome to the latest edition of Manx Radio Newscast.
Perfect. So Aedan was born in 2020. He pretty much needed a kidney transplant from birth, really. We kept him going long enough to make him grow. We wanted good growth and a good weight for Aedan. So we went until it became critical. A transplant became critical. In the meantime, I was tested as a possible donor match. Unfortunately, I didn't have the right tissue type and blood group to donate to Aedan. His dad, however, he was a perfect match. So we carried on for another year with dialysis, again, just giving Aedan time to grow, because obviously the complications with just a small child going through transplant. So we carried on the hope that Paul was going to donate to Aedan directly as his dad. We got to the day before the planned transplant was to happen, and we had a call from the surgical team, had reviewed some images and found some vessels that weren't quite right. So they were no longer going to need Paul. At this point, we'd waited until the transplant was critical to go to transplant. So we were in quite a scary situation in that the transplant was now critical and suddenly we have no donor, which was hard. We had to continue with dialysis. Trying to get access lines into such a small child meant that the lines often failed, fallen out, and we got to that conversation. I'm sorry, there's nothing more that we can do for your son. And we were placed under palliative care. We were on the organ donor list at that point, but unfortunately there were no successful matches coming through for Aedan. We were on the list and we got a call that we really weren't expecting. We were on possibly a 6-week countdown at the time. We were under palliative care. We got a call, a match being found from a deceased donor in the UK, and that's when our journey that we didn't think that we'd have started, really. We went to Manchester, and on the 12th of August 2023, just very, very shortly before Aedan's 3rd birthday, he was given a kidney from an unknown hero.
As a parent who's experienced this, who knows, who knows how long it took, days and nights of praying for this little miracle, what went through your mind when you actually got the call that he was getting that donation, that kidney that he needed?
If I'm being honest, my first was not relief at all, because for me, it was almost as though, and as awful as it sounds, you're waiting for someone to pass away, and nobody wants that for anybody. There was a lot of sympathy and sadness and tears for a family that were losing somebody that they really, really loved. But the emotional side was we may well get to give Aedan the opportunity here of a life from the distress that family were going through. So it's very, very mixed emotions. A lot of tears for the family that were donating, and they were, honest tears. It was our first thought was, oh my gosh, how can we be happy about this? A family is losing their loved one, and we are celebrating from their loss, and it's such a confusing, emotional time. Very, very upsetting for everyone. However, we just hope that the family and families of people who do choose to donate their organs, they do realise that, they are saving potentially up to 9 lives from the loss of their loved one, and their loved one will live on. Aedan's donated kidney, you have so much respect for that family. We don't know who they are, but we do think of that family often. At Christmas, we have a special bauble, we say special prayers for them. We think of them on, it's somebody's child, so we think of the mum and the dad on Mother's Day, Father's Day. We honestly, we think about that family a lot. They're a huge part of our lives, and we don't even know them. So.
No, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. When you hear Organ Donation Week, being as someone who was on the receiving end, what goes through your mind? Do you encourage people to be on the donor list? Have you guys tried to get on the list as well?
We are absolutely encourage it. So unfortunately, I was not a match for Aedan, but I would most certainly, I am definitely on the list to give organ donation. My husband, he was unable to donate to Aedan yet. However, he's still on the organ donation list. We can still donate. It's not just about our kidneys. It's about what other organs that we have that we might be able to donate. One of the questions that I had was, what happens if it's a 70, 80-year-old person that's sadly deceased? Can Aedan, as such a small child, how on earth can he have their kidneys? It's not down to the age profile of the person. It's down to the profile of the kidney and the blood tissue type that needs to match. So we do actively encourage absolutely everyone to donate, and we do have that age question a lot. Actually, I can't help. I'm in my 70s. Of course you can. Of course you can help. There's also cornea blood donation. There's lots of ways that you can donate. I know people aren't too keen of donating organs for research, but actually that's crucial, and that really came crucial to us when I was not a donor match for Aedan. We heavily relied on Paul, my husband, and then when Paul had those doors closed on the day before the transplant was to take place, we were in that point where, please take mine. And, what can we do? And we were then looking at what kidney research is in development at the moment. They were talking about changing blood types to match blood types. And that all comes from people donating their organs for research as well. So don't be put off about organs going for research, because in a way you're still helping to save lives.
Do you find that people are a bit more open to have these conversations nowadays as compared to, years ago?
I, I think so, yes. I mean, it's something that I always thought about before Aedan was even born. I mean, knew how poorly it was. It was one of the first things that came to my mind. But I know when I talk to people, like my mum, it's probably something that she would never have thought about. But I think it's certainly been spoken about an awful lot more in the last 10 years. I think people are a bit more open to it, but they want to hear the right answers about the research side of it, and what will actually happen on the day, and that dignity and that care, it's there for donors as well. You don't lose any of that because you're giving your organs away. They'll look after you.
And what's your message to someone that may be listening to this interview when it does play out? What's your message to that person who may be considering it, but they're on the border?
Please have research into it. There's lots of useful information, and frequently asked questions all over the internet, but particularly the NHS website and the organ donation website as well. It's got useful facts on there about religious beliefs, about age, and about age profiling. Loads of questions and answers there that people can have a look at for guidance. As a mum who was desperate, I mean, I tried everything. I was so desperate to give Aedan a life. We were constantly being built up and then let down. Please consider it. There are loads of children just like Aedan in various hospitals throughout the UK who are there at the moment, and they're very poorly. They're waiting for livers and kidneys, and it's so sad. They're so young, and they deserve a chance.
And I think my last question would be, as a family that was on the receiving end, how has life changed for you guys?
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing 12 months. So obviously we're over about 13 months now into Aedan's new kidney. We've had so many little trips, so many little holidays away to the UK. We've done lots of traveling, and we're having lots of work done at home. So all of the things that we've put off for the last 4 years, we can suddenly now do. But most importantly, we have family time every Sunday. We have a family meal. Mum will come along to the family meal. We can just do things like that we take for granted. I never thought that I'd have to live in a little closed community for those 3 years in case Aedan caught an infection or whatever. But a lot of the time we spent in Alder Hey, but we can go out now, we can walk. Aedan does drama tots. He absolutely loves Emily and Chanelle at drama tots. He's about to start playgroup as well, and these are things that we never thought he'd have. He's now up, and he's trying to walk a bit more and run a bit more, and he's just an amazing little boy. He's obsessed with his playing still. I don't think that'll ever change, but he seems happier and there's more life in him. He's awake more. He's asleep a lot, and he's lovely, absolutely lovely to see.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Is there anything else you'd like to add or you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to mention that I perhaps didn't mention?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment we are so close now to getting Daniel's Law for all the hard work that's been done for Daniel's Law to come on and into the Isle of Man. At the moment, though, I mean, every single day is valuable to somebody to go on and actually still register if they want to donate their organs. They still have to opt in, whereas Daniel's Law makes it an opt out. But we're not there yet. So just until we actually get there, if they are wishing to donate, please do make sure that people know, but also that you definitely register as well. You can do that on the organ donation website.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio Newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.